Elon Musk might champion traditional family values these days, but his personal life tells a far more complicated story. His first wife, Justine Wilson, shared some unsettling details about their marriage in a deeply personal essay written 15 years ago. And believe me, it is quite unsettling.
I have no problem being hated, by the way.
But first, let's rewind to the beginning. Elon Musk's first marriage happened with his college sweetheart, Justine Wilson. The first time he noticed Justine across the common room, Elon approached her with the excuse that they had met before at a party.
I met him when I was 18, he was 19. He would call me up, he would ask me out, and I would say no. And he would call me up again, and he would ask me out, and I would say no. And it went on like this until we ended up living together.
Musk romantically pursued Justine for years. At one point, he gave her his credit card and told her to buy as many books as she wanted since he knew the English teacher loved to read. What a romantic gesture. The pair finally married in the year 2000 and had their first child 2 years later. It seemed like their happiness had just begun when they were struck by what surely is a parent's worst nightmare, the death of their baby. Their child, Nevada Alexander, died of SIDS at only 10 weeks old. Justine was devastated, but according to an article she wrote for Marie Claire, Elon didn't want to talk openly about his son's death. He regarded his wife's grieving as emotionally manipulative, which forced her to bury her feelings. The couple dealt with the loss by having more children. After a visit to an IVF clinic, Justine got pregnant and gave birth to twins. 2 years later, the pair had triplets. Having kids didn't fix the duo's problems, so Elon and Justine went to couples therapy. However, after only 3 sessions, Musk gave his wife an ultimatum. Either we fix this marriage today, or I will divorce you tomorrow. The CEO ended up filing for divorce in 2008.
By the time we divorced, we were living in a house in Bel Air with no roommates and a miniature dachshund who still was not house-trained.
6 weeks later, he called Justine to inform her he was already engaged to another woman, Tallulah Riley. What makes this even more startling is how Justine found out about the divorce. She didn't hear it directly from Elon.
Sorry, I went into my therapist's office and he had left a message for her to tell me that he was filing for divorce.
This is just unbelievable. In a BBC documentary, Justine recalled the moment as one of the most memorable and devastating of her life. Post-divorce, Justine poured her experiences into an essay for Marie Claire, where she described herself as Elon's starter wife. She revealed chilling details about their marriage, including warning signs from as early as their wedding night. As they danced at their reception, Elon reportedly told her, "I am the alpha in this relationship." At the time, she shrugged it off, but it soon became clear he meant every word.
I felt mortified.
Elon's alpha mindset, shaped by his upbringing in South Africa's male-dominated culture, didn't switch off at home. Justine described a dynamic where Elon's judgment always trumped hers, and he often criticized her for not meeting his expectations. "I am your wife," she would remind him, to which he would reply, "If you were my employee, I would fire you."
South Africa, when I was growing up, was just an inherently very violent place. I got punched in the face many times.
Their life, while glamorous on the surface, felt hollow to Justine. Elon's obsession with work left him mentally absent, even when he was physically present. She craved meaningful conversations and emotional connection, but these were nowhere to be found. Even after the birth of their children, the imbalance in their relationship only grew.
And you accept that when you're, spending time with him, you're getting a very small part of him because 95% of his mental energy is still being consumed.
In her essay, Justine shared some unsettling details about their relationship. She revealed that Elon pressured her to fit a certain image, even encouraging her to dye her hair blonde and play the role of a trophy wife. But Justine wasn't having it. She admitted she wasn't interested in Botox, makeup, or pretending to be someone she's not. Honestly, it's hard not to feel for her here. No one should feel like they have to change themselves to meet someone else's expectations, right?
It is an awareness of your imperfections and the knowledge that you are fabulous anyway.
And then there was the money. You'd think immense wealth would make things easier, but for these two, it just magnified the cracks. Justine later told Walter Isaacson, who wrote Elon's biography, the accumulation of wealth and fame changed the dynamic. Arguments became a regular thing, and Elon reportedly started calling her a moron or idiot during fights. Ouch.
I mean, This is freedom of speech. I'm allowed to say what I want.
Still, here's the twist. Despite everything, Justine doesn't regret their marriage. In her essay, she admitted, "I've worked through some anger, but I will always respect the brilliant and visionary person that he is." That's some real grace right there. And through it all, Justine has remained a strong advocate for understanding power dynamics in relationships. In 2022, she shared insights on social media, tweeting, "Abusive relationships are not defined by whether or not the abused is a perfect victim. It's about a pre-existing power imbalance." Elon has also publicly countered some of Justine's claims over the years. In a 2010 piece for Insider, he disputed details of their divorce settlement and defended his timeline with Tallulah Riley, insisting their relationship began after his separation from Justine.
Feel fully happy. I think you have to be happy in work and happy in love.
Even Elon's mother, May Musk, has weighed in on his work-centric life, admitting that maintaining a relationship with him is challenging.
When you date or marry Elon, you don't see him much.
Recently, Justine's words likely added fuel to the tension between her and Elon. With him being one of Trump's biggest cheerleaders, her bold stance on the former president must have ruffled some feathers. She took to X, formerly Twitter, to post, "Electing a man for President of the United States, even though he has an admitted history of sexually harassing women and has been found guilty of sexual assault and defamation in a court of law, seems the very definition of rape culture." Just saying. Ouch. It's safe to say that probably didn't sit well with Elon.
I'm not just MAGA. I'm dark, gothic MAGA.
But that's not the only tension in the family. Their daughter, Vivian Jenna Wilson, has openly cut ties with Elon and recently shared a bit about her upbringing. In an interview with NBC News, Vivian praised her mom, saying, "She's very supportive, I love her a lot." Vivian's estrangement from her father became public in 2022 when she legally changed her name to align with her gender identity, stating in court documents that she no longer lives with or wishes to be related to him. The drama escalated further in July when Elon referred to Vivian's transition in an interview with psychologist Jordan Peterson. "I lost my son, essentially," he said, using Vivian's former name and blaming her estrangement on what he called the woke mind virus.
So my son Xavier is dead. Killed by the woke mind virus.
But Vivian wasn't having it. She corrected the record, clarifying that after coming out as transgender, she needed her parents' consent to start medical treatment like puberty blockers and hormone replacement therapy. While her mom was immediately supportive, Elon only signed the forms after being fully informed of the process and side effects. "He was not by any means tricked," Vivian said. "He knew the full side effects." And to address his dramatic claims, Vivian had this to say on Threads, "Last time I checked, I am indeed not dead." Oh, this family is definitely one of a kind. They might not talk about each other publicly all that often, but it's obvious there's a lot happening behind the scenes. So, what do you think? Is Elon's packed schedule to blame for the tension, or is there something deeper going on? Share your thoughts.